merriment,
survival for expats
in the concrete forest
on Friday nights.
Hi guys, welcome to You Can't Sit With Us, the weekly show where we get
wasted. Well, Cassie's drinking water right now, so.
That is stay hydrated, audience, folks.
Hydrate with wine.
Yeah, Allie's not joining us today. She's not feeling too happy. She's off camera though, so she's always watching.
She's here. She can see what you write.
She can't be without us for so long. My guest today is
Danny
Hagenbotham, very funny comedian, generally awesome person.
That's true. I'm pretty great.
She's pretty great.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking awesome.
It's pretty great. And I'm just like
Fucking
a 9-year-old today, which is cool. Yeah, so had an eventful week.
Yeah, especially in the comedy scene. There's
been some beef,
some controversy between. And I just want to point out that we've made a decision not to name names.
Might accidentally, so.
Accidentally, but we're not intending to name any names because we don't want to contribute to this person's martyr complex.
Yeah.
Also, the important issue here is to discuss the issues at hand, and not to sit here and bash the person on camera.
I agree. Yes. So that's what are we going to start with?
We can read the thing that we're upset about.
Okay, so basically to set you guys up for this, Danny and I and Ali are part of
Comedy
scene, Comedy HK. We love it. We've had really positive experiences.
Right.
For the most part, I mean, the stuff has happened, whatever. Anyway, for the most part, we're very happy with the way we're treated.
Right.
We feel respected. But a woman who's part of our scene... Sort of, yeah, you're right.
She had basically been in the scene, and then there were some disagreements over basically procedure. Signing up for open mics.
Yeah, so we do open mics where we try out new jokes, and we practice our material and whatever. And, oh my god, I almost said her name already. She showed up to one of these open mics, which, by the way, Wednesdays at 8:30 at Brew House in Lang Kwai Fong, and Mondays, Bar 109 in Wan Chai.
Right.
So if you guys ever want to come. So she got, how many slots do they usually have? About 15, I think.
Yeah, there's 15 slots, and there's usually a couple of waiting.
And they fill up pretty fast because new people want to try comedy or whatever. You get a free drink when you perform, which is a big incentive.
That's why I do it.
This is the only reason I got into comedy. Yeah, so she showed up and she was very, very annoyed that there weren't any slots left. But she showed up at like 9.
She actually did get a slot though.
And she got a slot in the end because she bitched so much about it.
But there was a lot of there was a big argument, there was a big fallout, and she basically disappeared from the scene for about a year.
Yeah.
So
I think I didn't give her my slot. But I think Cherry or somebody gave
her the slot.
Yeah. So this is just showing.
Yeah, we're just trying to get
a good community, and we're
trying to get background information here to set up, how some of the issues started.
Yeah.
And then she said it was because she was a woman.
Yeah.
Which also, if she took the slot from Cherry, who was a woman, Anyways, so she basically disappeared for a year, and recently she came back, and obviously wasn't very warmly received because
and to also say this, she's a terrible person. She is not a nice person. It's not that we're cliquey or whatever. She's just an objectively really nasty person.
I'm gonna say that she wasn't a very good friend to me. I'm not.
I've never seen her be pleasant to anyone.
I'm not really a fan of her attitude. But anyways.
But again, we shouldn't be bringing in our personality.
Yeah, we shouldn't be bringing in personality. We should be discussing, the topic.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't very warmly received because when you go out on a bang like that, you're not going to be welcomed with open arms. So she's starting a new venture, which is, hey, if you want to start a new group or set up new comedy nights, good, fine. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with getting...
encouraged, in fact. We love that.
Yeah. Right. Cool. One of our friends, Jason Strickland, recently started a new venture. I think it's under Comedy HK.
Bear Laughs?
Bear Jokes.
Bear Jokes.
And I performed in it, and I had a fantastic time. It was really good. heck, you're encouraged to grow as a comedian, and if setting up a venture or a group is part of it, then that's cool. You know, whatever allows people
to have more
to express themselves.
Yeah, more venue space and whatever.
But the problem is, she recently did an interview with HK Magazine, in which she said something that we have some disagreements with.
So, do you want to choose some quotes from that?
I think we can read this whole section.
Okay.
So, when the person asked what inspired you to start the venue, the group, she said, I got inspired because of the treatment I've been going through. It's actually super unfair to do stand-up comedy in Hong Kong because I'm a woman. It's a boys' club. Maybe the boys are friends, they talk about dicks and balls all the time, but I'm a woman. I don't talk about these things with them. They're very stingy with my performance minutes, and they don't give me a fair opportunity compared to other comedians. I don't know if it's a sexist thing or if I'm just being sensitive, but I feel like the moment I set up my venture, every female comedian joined my company, so actions speak louder than words. These female comedians...
Which female comedian?
Maybe two.
Maybe, I almost said her name again. Maybe two, but that's also because they're just nice.
Yeah. And, you know, people want stage time.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you want to go perform in a different venue, you know, a lot of us, I've started doing takeout.
Yeah.
You know, it's just about getting stage time, and it's about getting more opportunity to practice.
The love of comedy.
Yeah. And, you know, fine. Go do it. It's just, I don't like that she painted this broad brush
of female comedians and how, and to be fair, like I have said something similar, that comedy is it is a boys' club, right? Purely because there are more boys, a lot more men.
And that's comedy.
Yeah.
That's not exclusive to Hong Kong. Yeah,
it's not exclusive to Hong Kong. There are a lot more men, but I think as a scene in Hong Kong, I feel like we're
very welcoming.
Especially when me and Danny started doing comedy.
Right.
They really, I got on a show very easily, which this woman later implied I got because of my boyfriend doing comedy. But yeah, I got a show but the thing is, if you're not funny, nobody's gonna put you on a show.
And if you're not gonna take criticism,
yes,
and try to improve on your comedy, then people aren't gonna look at you.
Instead of just going, haters are gonna hate. That's comedy is literally, you are pleasing other people, you're performing.
You're not performing for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if somebody goes, well, that wasn't funny, or that wasn't even a joke, don't just be like, haters gonna hate, I'm the best. Another thing that we thought was quite funny, she said that she's performed at some of the biggest clubs in New York. She's been to open mics in New York.
And you know what? Hey, maybe it's possible she did do a showcase or two, but as the only information we have is open mics. So I guess we'll give some benefit of the doubt, but you know, trying to be fair and balanced and all that.
Yeah.
Actually, and this has sparked a very vibrant discussion on our Facebook group, and I've also had some other conversations with other male comedians, and it's interesting because at its core, there's a good issue that we should be talking about.
Yeah, and the thing is, when the article was posted to our group for that community, people were actually all saying, if she'd just
spoken up.
Yeah, in a different way, right? Not in a magazine for everybody to read, and this will dissuade people from doing comedy.
She actually did bring up this issue a while ago to Mike Dorsher. And in response, Dorsher made a mailing list solely for the female comedians,
right?
In order to try to meet our needs better. So it's proof that if you speak up, something's going to happen, because this is an inclusive community.
And literally, people we were very, very, very offended by the article. It was offensive. I think that's the right word to use. It was offensive. But people were still saying Ryan said if you just said it to us, and he also said, there needs to be a conversation. Let's talk about it. I don't know. It's such a negative. You're starting a new show and that's great. Why are you bringing all this negativity into it?
Just talk about why focus on the negative. A, how is that going to make people want to come to your show? They see how negative of a person
you're petty and you're.
B, you're alienating the people who would perform in your show.
I don't want to like her particularly. But if before this whole thing happened, if she'd been like, do you want to be, I might have done it.
She asked me, but I was like, I'm not going to do a bringer show when I run,
I
run my own show.
Oh yeah, bringer show. No, yes, that's the other thing.
Why would I do a bringer show? A bringer show means
You just.
Sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much. Sorry. A bringer show means you bring this amount of people and you get this amount of time. So basically it was bring 4 people, get 5 minutes. And I'm like, excuse me.
I don't have 4 friends. Like, all my friends are in this room right now.
I don't feel like roping my friends into agreeing to pay a certain amount of money in order to come and see me perform when they could come to open mic or come to my show for free.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. I don't, like, I understand,
And go to your show and get $128 open bar.
That's true.
By the way, variety party, when is it?
July 2nd.
July 2nd.
Birthday one, August 6th. It's my birthday.
Yay.
I'm not gonna be old.
Yeah, anyway, so the show's a bringer show. Anyway, it sparked a conversation, and I don't understand. I just don't understand, like.
A lot of it.
Yeah, it's really odd, but it's kind of funny. So we're gonna read some. But actually, I want to read what Danny wrote, because Danny actually wrote something very good about this issue. And I think we're spending a lot of time on something you guys don't necessarily care about, but
we kind of just need a place to vent together.
Yeah. So Danny said, like Cassie and Sean mentioned, nobody is upset about a new comedy group. The truth is that aside from open mics, there aren't a ton of venues for comedy comedians to perform right now. Yeah, and then basically there's a different underlying issue here. And she also said that she was being bullied by us, and actually started out as a pretty civil conversation. It did degenerate into something silly, but it's a group of comedians.
Yeah,
and they're going to start being silly.
That happens.
And I mean, I don't think she was being bullied, because I don't think that's the right term.
She was not being bullied. It was more of, people have a different opinion. They're attacking me. I'm such a martyr.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone said anything that bad except for Tabby.
It did delve into some silly, like, childish insults after a while. It started off with something good. But the thing is, I mean, it's not like she was giving.
Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah,
good response.
That's the thing, right? It devolved into silliness, and it devolved into name calling or whatever, because she was personally attacking people.
Yeah. So that's
like when I comment, you commented saying, as a female comedian on the scene, I feel like this is not true, and I wrote same, and then she's like, Cassie brackets Garen's girlfriend.
I don't like that. I said, as a female comedian, I feel very supported, and she said, but you're white.
Yeah, but you're white.
And I'm like, okay, I don't really understand how that is is a part of the conversation that we're having right now. Like,
then she was like, oh, I'm just bitter because you got your first show early and you're so pretty. It's just very weird.
It's weird.
It's odd. Yeah.
But I've been having some good conversations with some of the male comedians. One who does believe that there is some sexism in our scene, and one who said there is none.
I don't think it's true that there's none. I think that there is a little bit.
There is a little bit. And that's what I was trying to explain to him. Like, it's not overt and it's not malicious or intentional.
Yes, but that's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I don't think... Yeah.
Subtle sexism.
They're not trying to, like, club together, and they don't all got some sort of conspiracy to keep girls out. You're right, yes. It's not malicious. It's not...
It's the way that we're introduced as the beautiful Cassie or the lovely Danny. Therefore, as Allie and I were discussing today, it puts the focus on our looks rather than on our talent. It's the way that I'm introduced as an up-and-comer when I do open mic, when I've been doing open mic for 2 years, and I run our only, like, consistent show at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, it's time for the break. We're going to post this on the Hong Kong Comedians page, so you guys can see it. Hi. Hello, everybody who's watching. Hope we did a good job of explaining. Okay, we're going to get a commercial break, and we'll see you after the break.
想口齒伶俐，每日笑面迎人。依家美國嘅 Opalescence 美白牙膠幫到你，
由美國製造嘅齒托式美白牙膠，成分安全，用法簡單。
依家只需要每日1個鐘頭就可以令到牙齒變得明亮同埋潔白。
咁咪唔使成日去深圳嗰度睇牙，可以喺屋企輕鬆咁樣美白咯。
依家喺 store.MIHK.tv 已經有得買啦。
係咪睇極都唔夠喉呢？
如果想繼續睇我哋咁精彩嘅節目，
就上 Lojo.com 訂閱我哋嘅頻道。
冇錯啦，大家仲可以 subscribe 埋我哋 YouTube channel 嘅 Lojo HK 喎。
係啦，仲可以咧上我哋 Facebook 專頁去 like 我哋噶。
冇錯啊！如果大家咧平時會用手機上網睇片嘅話咧，就可以 download 埋我哋嘅 Apps，iOS 同埋 Android 咧都係叫做 MIHK 喎。
係啦，所以我哋而家蘋果機都可以睇啦。
隨時隨地都可以睇到我哋嘅節目啊！